All right, good morning, everybody. Once again, it's a little early to actually do a Facebook Live, so I'm just going to record this and we'll post it to Facebook. I just had a little encouragement from my reading this morning. I'm reading it in Matthew, and I barely got anywhere because I got stuck almost immediately on something, and I just wanted to dive into it a little more. It's Matthew 5:17, where he says that he is not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law. And I won't read the section because it takes a while, but it's 17 through 20. And I had my inkling. I've had kind of my inkling and about what that means and stuff. But I wanted to check out what some other people were saying really quickly. So I jumped on and I watched this one video. This guy talks for 5 minutes about it, and he throws out all kinds of scriptures. And in general, I agree with him. But I felt like he was missing something more succinct and more simple. And I didn't feel like he was teaching me. He was challenging my position or teaching me anything new. It was just sort of, it's good. But a guy I know, Greg Boyd, I don't know him, but I know of him and I read a lot of his stuff. I decided just check out, see what he had on his website. And sure enough, he's got this 3-minute podcast on it. And so he nailed it. And he said that he went basically with where we are. And we'll get to that. So we see that Jesus talks about fulfilling the law in that passage. And he talks about different, the least of commandments and different stuff like that. Well, then within the same chapter, he then breaks the law. He then says one of the greatest tenets of the law, the eye for an eye. He says, you've heard it said, an eye for an eye, but I tell you, do not resist the evil person. So he's saying that the law should not disappear and you should hold on to it, but wait a minute. And then he turns around and does it. Well, what about one thing Greg Boyd pointed out was the woman with the issue of blood. That was against the law. It was against the law for her to be in the crowd. Certainly against the law for her to touch Jesus. She did all that. Jesus didn't say anything about that. So did he really care about the fulfillment of the law? Well, I think he does care about the fulfillment of the law. I just think he realizes that there's a law above all laws. And check this out. Something we teach all the time. If you flip over in the same book, Matthew 22:34, hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, the Pharisees got together. One of them, an expert in the law, tested him with this question: Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it: love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commands. So if we notice, people talk about, Jesus sacrificed a lot of things, but basically he's telling people while he's still on the earth before he's died to break the law, and it's all right because he's recognizing a greater law, and that's the law of love. And that's how he treated the woman with the issue of blood. He loved her and had compassion for her. And so I would just encourage you today to go out and fulfill the law. Fulfill the law in everything you do, and everybody you talk with, and every conversation you have. Fulfill the law. Love the Lord your God, and love others as yourself. And I just would encourage you guys in that, and have a blessed and wonderful day. And another thing is, a lot of times when there's things that seem kind of difficult, Jesus is really good at just breaking it down and making things feel difficult. But actually, he's got a really simple answer. And it's usually got to do with love. And he actually, obviously, did the greatest act of love that we would ever know, and giving himself on the cross to break the curse for us. And so be blessed today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.